morning, Tennessee Valley. Welcome to another Friday morning, an exciting one. It's a 3-day weekend.
Yes, and looking at that, it seems like everybody in the world planned something for this weekend.
We've got a full schedule, don't we,
Yeah, we've got a walkathon at Tinsley Park, and that's Saturday morning, and then Saturday afternoon you have a baby shower to go to, and what else?
You've got to be done with the cruise in.
The cruise in.
Yeah.
But that's to eat food, to film food, so that'd be good.
That's
that's kind of, yeah, that's not really a luxury, but it's better than just, I have to do the walk afterwards.
Yeah.
I have to eat the sandwiches and then go do the walk. That's what I have
burn
to
enough
do.
calories when you walk, that way you can go there and eat.
Yeah, that's true.
Work
I'll
out.
be hungry afterwards. But I can't eat in the heat.
No, I don't like it
When it's hot out, there's something about it I can't eat in the heat.
I've noticed our dinners have cut down quite a bit
Yeah, we
since
go
it
home
warmed
and not
up.
hungry, or it's like, ugh.
Just don't want to. But it is a holiday weekend. A
Yes,
lot
it
of
is.
travelers out
Yes,
there,
it
so
is.
everyone needs to be safe.
Be safe, be careful. I'm sure there's going to be a few speed traps out somewhere. They're set at the, unsuspecting people that's speeding. Shouldn't be speeding anyway,
Right.
but if you do tend to get foot heavy or roll down hills faster than normal.
Which you've done.
I've done. That's the first time in 44 years I've ever been stopped. And that was simply because the cruise control didn't kick in and it decided to speed up a little bit faster. And again, he just kind of told me to watch my speed, because when I looked
was very
down,
nice.
yeah, when I looked down, I couldn't see where I was speeding, but it must have clocked me on the hill coming down,
Right.
and so that's don't depend on cruise control.
That's right. That's right.
But Monday being Memorial Day, it's a federal holiday which occurs every year on the final Monday of May, and so that's. And I was reading on that today, and I actually brought some out here. It's formerly known as Decoration Day, originated after the American Civil War. To remember the Union Confederate soldiers who died in the Civil War, and then by the 20th century, it extended to honor all Americans who had died while in military service. And so it's marks the start of the summer vacation season, while Labor Day marks its end. And it's saying that many people visit cemeteries and memorials to honor those who have died in military service. Many volunteers place American flags on each grave in national cemeteries. And it's also saying it's a time when people come together, celebrate, and to remember those who had died, but also, I guess they go out to where they're buried at. Sometimes they have picnics out in that area and just kind of, place flags on the gravestone and everything, and just kind of remember it. They're saying here that a lot of people renew the kinfolks, meet up with the family they hadn't seen forever, or friends, especially those that was in the military service and stuff, and remember that, meet the friends of those who have passed away and everything. And so that's Monday, and take time to remember, say a prayer for those, the families of those who had passed away, in the service and everything. So that'd be a good plus. Reach out to somebody. There's different websites you can go out there and just leave a word, to those who have passed away. They have, I was looking through there, and they had different websites had different names of servicemen that had fallen, in different wars. So just all you have to do really is Google it and look at it. Go to Google and look at it and everything. But that's Monday, so 3-day weekend. But take a special day out on Monday, some time out, and just remember those who have fallen.
Right.
What else do we have?
Let's see.
You didn't have your notes out?
Didn't have any what?
Your notes out?
Didn't have my notes out. Wasn't with it.
I know it's still bicycle month, isn't it? No, it was Ride Your Bicycle to Work Day.
That was, yeah.
And we hauled our bike to work day.
Right.
It's too far away to ride.
A little bit of a ride.
Yeah, a little bit.
Today,
this
is a little different one.
Anybody eating breakfast? You may want to cover yours.
Yeah. I don't think I want you to take me out to dinner for this tonight, but it's National Escargot Day.
Snail Day.
Have you ate snails? You've ate a lot of things. You've ate snails?
Yeah.
You've done it.
Yeah, ate snails when I was in Korea. They had them. There was actually there was 3 things I ate that day. There was the snails. It was some kind of larva, like a bee larvae. It was like deep fried and had honey and cinnamon on it. Just the idea of eating it was what really turned my stomach. Wasn't
the actual
taste?
thing?
The taste wasn't bad. But yeah, they had what they call soju houses or soju tents on every so often, and then soju being 100 proof of some sort of thing. I think embalming fluid or something. I don't know what it was, but they had all this different seafood in there, and you would sit in there, and for like say 7,000 won, which was like $5 or $6, you would sit there and eat all the fresh seafood you wanted, and snails was one of them. Oysters, mussels, octopus. I mean, it was weird because they had the buckets of it. They had these they're swimming around in there, and the guy would stick his hand down in there, and that thing would grab around on his hand. And he had a little bitty bat, and he would take it and he'd hit that thing a couple times, and it'd fall off there. Then he'd cut it up right there on the thing and cook it up for you, or however you wanted. And it was like a gumbo soup of some sort. It was how it was like real spicy soup, and they'd put it in there and cook it up. And Snell's was one of them, you know.
I don't think I could do it. I don't know.
I tried everything. I mean,
You try it all.
yeah.
I'm not the adventurous eater. I'll try some things, like I've ate the mussels and things, but I don't know. I just
Yeah, you just try it.
It's just a not one I don't think I want to.
So go eat some snails today. I'm
That's
sure there's
right.
some somewhere.
That's right.
I don't even know where you would get it around here.
I'm not sure. It's not something I was interested in eating.
Yeah,
so
I guess
checked
Walmart
into
has them
probably
on their fish tanks back there. I've seen
Oh,
them.
you've seen them on the fish tanks.
Yeah.
You're just gonna go back and reach in the fish
Reach in
tank
and start fishing
eating?
them out until you get a handful of them, I guess.
So go to the pet store, huh? International Jazz Day. It says always the Saturday of Memorial Weekend.
Okay.
We came from an area that had a
Yeah.
jazz history.
Jazz history. The old Star Factory used to, I guess, produce and record jazz.
Jeanette recordings.
And had some there, and everyone used to go down in the hollow. That's where it was, down in the gorge area, and used to take bricks from, because it would say on there.
Right.
And some bricks, I guess, were better than others. I mean, they, you know, some of them were signed and different things, but the building was falling down. And
Right,
I think
I
they've
remember that.
brought it back up. I don't
Yeah.
remember if they've.
Last time we were there visiting, I don't remember.
I don't remember, but it was a place that was made Richmond for what it was for a long time, and then
Right.
slowly
It was
everything moved
very
away.
big. Right. And then Monday, Memorial Day, is Sunscreen Protection Day, which I think every day should be that if you're going to be out. We've been burnt quite a few times.
I've been burnt several times. I across my forehead and the nose. I got burnt one day. I was back from the military, and my brother-in-law was doing a roofing job. And he said, "You want to help me out?" You know, because I didn't have nothing to do. I was just off for 30 days resting, like I really wanted to go work. So I went and helped him. Spent a day and a half out in the sun, and got blistered. My back was blistered. I mean, I had blisters on me that big. And so we went to Kings Island, went on the water park because it felt so good in the water, and rode down what they called the Nestle plunge. And it was just like a straight, was it 4, 5, 6 stories, dropped straight down this water slide, and got off there in that bubble. I had a bubble on my back like that of water in that blister. And my brother-in-law said, "You know how to fix that, don't you?" And I'm like, "How?" He took his hand and stuck it up there and just ripped the whole thing off. I'm like, "Ah." So I floated around the lazy river for about an hour, making my back feel better.
Yeah, but sunscreen is important.
Sunscreen, yes.
Yeah, wear
Cancerous
your
now.
Exactly.
Always been cancer, but I think now it's
more prominent.
Yeah. Thanks to
You got
the
to be wise.
ozone layer disappearing.
Right. That's all I have, James.
Okay, well, I guess we can go to our guest.
Let's get our guests, because they've got some great information.
Hopefully they're talkative.
They
we
will
have
be.
the two, so we give them a, good time.
We'll
I
give
see
them
both
fair
of them
time.
smiling.
We'll give
I
them
know they
fair
could
time.
talk. I've talked to both of them.
You can talk between the three.
You say you don't ever get the word in edgewise, so. Well, you want to tell who they are, and we can get ready to go to break.
We have Joe McCullough from Theme Fusion today, and he's got some very creative work that he does.
You got to see it.
Right, and so he's going to show us some of the things he's done, and we're real excited about it. Because I actually haven't seen some of these photos either. So
oh, you haven't? Okay,
I want
I've
to
seen
see
a few of them. I don't know the ones he's showing.
Yeah.
But I've seen some of the work, the photos
Right.
he's done
I
from
know,
the website, and then we get to print some of it.
Right.
Right across the hall from him there.
Sometimes pulling in, they'll have their bay open and kind of looking to see what they're working on, because they make some very neat things over there.
Because we get to print some of them. We printed some
Right.
posters for them, some different items for them, and so we get to see, ahead of time what they're working on.
Right.
But you never get to see you can't get excited about it until you see the finished product.
Right.
And that's what he's going to show you today. So who is our next guest
Our
after
next
that?
guest, a familiar face to the folks out there, Chris Free from MAO Consulting is going to be on today to talk a little bit about what he does.
And see, the reason we have Chris on, we had him on actually last week, and I won't say what it all entails, but he was at the incubator, talked about that, and I thought that's something good, because you'll see when Chris comes on and talks about it, that it's a needed. I mean, for anybody anymore. So it's a much needed
service
that he's offering. So that's what we'll do. We'll have them on. I guess we'll go to break. Go to break, folks. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we have our first guest on. So don't go away, and we'll be back after this commercial break.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from Here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back, folks, and we've got our first guest here today, Joe McCullough, not a stranger to the set.
No,
I appreciate the invitation back. This has been fun.
it's our neighbor across the hall, I guess you'd say,
Yes.
across the street, across the hallway,
Right.
and does a lot of great things here in the incubator.
Thank you.
We wanted to have you on here because we'd actually had invited you a couple months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, and you had to back out on that date. But
Right.
We've had you on since then. You've been on a couple other shows, and
Right.
so we're excited because we want to show what you do. But kind of explain your business, name of it, and everything. And
Sure. All right. Well, we operate a company called Theme Fusion, and really this grew out of a hobby. I grew up as an artist, enjoy art, and have since a little child. So sometimes when your hobby becomes your job, you stop enjoying it.
yeah,
This is not the case. Theme Fusion is a dream job. I get to do what I love to do, but I apply it to clients' solutions. So basically what we do is concept development,
Okay.
and we do that for the novelty entertainment business, but we've also found a way to repackage what traditionally would happen in a theme park, what you expect to see in a theme park. We've repackaged that concept and applied it to business. Okay. So some of the clients here locally that your viewers would recognize would be Chad Esslinger's dental office, pediatric dental. More than just a space plan or an interior design plan, we really did something unique for his clientele, which is both parents and children. So when you go into his office, and we'll see the images coming up, but it's unlike anything else you would see. And it lets the kids know right away that even though they're in a dental office, this will be a comfortable experience.
Right.
And we put them at ease right away. That's sort of the initial idea, and that happens for each and every client in a unique way. Every client has a customer-centric view of how they do their business because they all deal with customers. But their plan or their overall approach might be a little different. We tend to do a lot of work that involves children, and therefore in Cleveland, that means we work with churches.
right.
So some of the other projects that we'll take a look at involve some of the spaces that we've done for children's ministries.
Okay, well, actually, you brought some pictures. We can play that, and if you want, just kind of, as you have time, just kind of explain it as they go across. So we can go ahead and run those pictures.
Okay, this is an item in Atlanta. This is actually the Buckhead campus, an offshoot of North Point, a mega church, a facade area for an entryway. All of the facades and props that we build are all unique, one of a kind. This is the office I spoke of earlier, Chad Esslinger's dental office in Cleveland. The tree that we're looking at is made of concrete. Another office, now in Ooltewah, also Esslinger's dental office. We try to make every space special. So this is the prize area. The kids will take a prize when they leave. The same dental office lobby. We incorporate murals and artists to do that, as well as specialty materials, bamboo walls, another concrete tree. Again, everything we put together is one of a kind. Even though this was the same job for the same client in a different location, it wasn't a complete carbon copy of what we created for him in the Cleveland office. And as we're looking at the lobby, the space is now more for the adults because they have to stay in this lobby space while their children go back and go to the dental chairs. So it's not enough just to create something that looks like Chuck E. Cheese. That's
Right.
actually a very close consideration of what we look at. We consider the entire customer. So if the mom or the dad have to sit and read a magazine, we want to make sure they feel comfortable and not overloaded by the view around them.
Well, we can go ahead. We can cut back to. Okay, there we go. So I'm sure there's more on there we didn't get to see here for some reason. It's frozen up. But you start from concept. I mean, you go in. I mean, kind of explain.
That's a
how
great
that
point, James. Appreciate you asking that. The way we look at this, if everything within the project goes exactly like it's supposed to, but the concept is wrong, then the execution, which can be flawless, can still be the wrong plan. So we tell our clients, and we believe it ourselves, we have to start with the right concept. And we put a lot of time and attention in making sure we've explored all of the opportunities available. We show our client multiple ways they can achieve the same solution, and that generally means different price points. Right. We don't lock them in or talk them into spending more money. We actually try to meet their budgetary requirements, but we do that in a creative way that gives them some options. After we decide that the plan is right and the client agrees that is exactly what we want to see achieved, then we reach out, and this is where we tie into the industry and the rest of the entertainment side of what we do. We're a small office in Cleveland, but we operate in a way that reaches out and can grab the experts in their field. That way we don't have to build a facility that's so large that we house all the equipment and all of the resources with us, which would drive up overhead. Right. We feel like this might be a smarter way to work with our clients. If they don't need a certain piece of equipment or a certain resource, that's fine. We don't pay for it, we don't house it, we don't have a bill that has to cover it. So instead we reach out and find those people that can bring the solutions that client needs, only what that client needs. And that way we tailor make and custom every solution for a client.
Okay, because I was in the office the other day, in your office the other day, and you were scanning in a drawing, a sketch. Now, you know, what I saw on that was, it's you guys turn that into that. I mean, that's what it's going to be, you know, whatever it is, you know, if it's that tree. I mean, that's how you start, and you know, and you end with that.
That's right. Everything starts with the drawing, and really, that's the best place to begin because it costs almost nothing to put a few pencil lines on paper. You can imagine an airplane, a 10-foot airplane, hanging in the ceiling of a space with just a quick drawing, but then we had to turn around and make it. And so one of the projects we did locally at First Baptist on the Hill, the new First Baptist project, was to imagine what would go into this very large space. We had 23 feet of clearance from floor to ceiling. We had a room that I think it was roughly 80 feet wide, 60 feet deep. It's a large space. And our thoughts kept turning upward. If you have that much volume, that much space, what are we going to do overhead? And so we brought in and fabricated 11 clouds, large 3 foot by 5 foot clouds. And flying through those clouds, we put an 11 foot by 10 foot airplane and hung it from the ceiling, brought it through the space. It's a very dynamic view of the room, and it definitely takes advantage of the volume of the space. But it all starts with just a few pencil lines on paper, which cost the client really very little to imagine what it could look like. Once they can see it and they gain a buy-in from their board or their congregation in the case of a church, or their partners if they're doing this for a business, then everybody sees the same thing on paper. Our goal at that point is to bring them no surprises except happy surprises. We want to make sure that what we deliver and what we build is exactly what they agreed to on paper.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm trying to think what you've had something float around your office. There's some characters cutouts and stuff, and you know, I saw those there, and there's a couple other things you had in your office. I mean, your Bay Area.
Right.
And,
well, the great thing about being in the design side of what we do, we're not limited by anything. If we can imagine it, if the client can imagine it, or bring it to us, and we can help them imagine it, we can realize it, because there's an operation out there that can achieve it. If we don't do it in-house, we can reach out and find somebody that will help us and enhance that project. So the characters that you're speaking of, we can print on anything, and that's because printing and technology have made that possible. Right. So when we have an opportunity to do something that's very unique, we let the client know, hey, this is one way we can approach this design. And they have to make the decision ultimately based on the budgetary requirements. But some of the things that you saw in the office are some of the unique ways that we've been able to print on plastic, print on carpet. You can print on ceiling tiles. You can print on plastic and apply it to the lights in a ceiling and have light shining through those soft boxes. Some of the things that you've helped us with, printing on paper, vinyl, application stickers for the side of a vehicle. Again, we really just imagine through the design phase, and then we reach out and let services like yourself bring those solutions to the client.
Now, what's the largest that you've worked on? I mean, you mentioned that one room, but I'm sure you've worked on an area bigger than that.
We really handle full facilities, and a lot of companies will say this: we're not limited by budget. Larger budget means more time on the schedule, right. So we'll just spend more time in that project. But we're also not limited on the other side. We'll do small projects for clients. That's not a problem for us. We have worked on facilities that included 13 rooms plus a theater space. It took a year to complete. We designed every room, every hallway, every corridor, and the theater itself housed 500 people and had a 2-level stage. There's a number of projects that just become large projects. The one that we looked at earlier, the Buckhead campus, included 2 floors. They had a 5-floor building overall. We handled 2 floors covering birth to 5th grade. And that took quite a while to put together. But we've also worked on projects that were just a single prop. For a theater set, we have a client that calls us every 2 months, and we change out their theater scenery. They rotate it between campuses. They're a church also, and they just take what we created, move it to the next campus, and bring in a new set. We do that for them every 60 days. And they, because they are consistently changing their set around, they don't put their entire budget into a single set. And so knowing their budgetary parameters, we make sure that what we bring them fits their needs, fits their space needs as well as their budget needs. So again, we're a lot of things to different people, but mainly what we are is design and concept development.
Right. Now, what about wow factor? I mean, you said you show them on paper and you try not to surprise them, but have you ever done anything and at the end it looks way better than you expected it to when you got it all put together?
That's a great question. I think it always looks better than we expected. There's something amazing. Let me tell you this. I have a graphic design degree. So my life, if I followed the plan that I set out coming out of college, I would do publishing. I came to a printing company out of college and I just printed on paper. I designed for paper. And there's something exciting about that. But the first time I did a drawing that turned into an environment and I actually walked through the space and I could see these designs from all angles, it got in my soul. I couldn't let go of it. And that was actually the day I put down the pen, put down the paper and said, from now on, illustrations and designs are going to turn into themed environments. When you couple that with a faith, and in my life, I have faith in God. So I put my time and talent into creating environments for church and ministry. Now it's another ball game. It's not just eye candy. It's not just a pretty picture, and it's not just an environment. It has a deeper thought and purpose behind it, which means it lives beyond my years. There's something that's happening inside that space that's much more valuable than just what I added to it. In fact, I don't consider my part in it to be very valuable at all. I really just take what I've learned, my talent, my abilities, and I place it in the hands of those that are doing their ministry or their education within their spaces, and I give them the tools and the resource in an environment to be able to do what they do better.
Okay. Now, Theme Fusion, the name, I mean, where did you come up with that name? I mean,
it's a couple of different reasons for this. One is it was available as a .com. So the truth is...
That's the first thing, right?
Yeah, it was just simply available. And the background story to that is we are creating themed environments, so it makes sense. If you're Toys R Us, you sell toys. We are themed environment company, so theme made sense. The fusion part of that is we bring a lot of different disciplines together. There are guys in our office and in our sphere who are more CAD oriented. They do more of a building or an envelope space, and that's a traditional architect's route. But we bring that into the world of themed entertainment. Others are mural artists, and they do great work when they do murals for residential spaces. We don't do residential spaces, we do commercial spaces. So we bring a lot of disciplines out of other fields and we fuse them together to create this environment this way. The layer that goes on top of everything that we do is that it's all on purpose. And especially when I mention it's in a ministry space, everything has a purpose. And when we hand it over to the church, we explain to them how each component can be a teachable component. How the environment goes from an object lesson in a teacher's hand to the object lesson surrounding the children that they're speaking to. That's the fusion part of this. We bring an architect and an interior designer and a mural artist and a carpet designer, and we bring them all together and we make something that's much greater than its parts.
Okay. So, and I figured it was something, but I wanted you to say it. Now, what would be your, I guess, all the projects you've taken back, what would be your one that that's your, I guess, your favorite, your top one?
I don't know that I could pick just one. We have probably 3 or 4 dozen environments, and if I went through all of them, there's something about each one that I would say I really love. What I have to say is the one that we are about to start will probably trump and become my new favorite. We're about to go into a new design, which I can't unveil yet. Right. We'll maybe have another chance to talk about that. It's a master plan. It will incorporate an entire building process we're gutting a building and starting from scratch. And that will be exciting. If I had to choose something that your viewers have seen around here, I really like the dental office, the one we saw earlier. I just think it's unique. I know that when I went to the dentist, I was scared. I've had 7 cavities in my life, and my mom was a dental hygienist, so she's cringing to hear me say that. But going to the dentist or a hospital or a visit like that to a doctor, it's a scary thing for a child. But when you walk into a dental environment and you're surrounded by a jungle, bamboo, the colors are pleasing, the area is softening, there are TVs on the wall playing Pixar movies or Disney movies, there's something that takes place that really calms the child down. Now the mom and dad don't have to worry so much if their child is going to make it through the dental visit. They're actually having a much easier time of it. That's something that design created. And it's easier on the child, the parent, the doctor. Therefore, the entire experience is a win-win-win all the way around. And that's why I'm in love with design. I think everything should be thoughtfully and carefully designed. And there's too many things that are not. Some cities, you drive in the traffic and you think, who created these roads? There's just too many things that you think, why did they not spend a little more time figuring out what's going to happen to the traffic flow? We spend a lot of time, and probably to some on the outside, it looks like we're just dawdling our time. We spend a lot of time dreaming about the future for our client, taking their vision and knowing that we can add a reality to it, but trying to really figure out, is what you're asking for the right purpose? And we hope that on every single design we implement, that it's exactly what they expected, maybe more than what they expected, but it's exactly right for their future and their growth.
Okay. Now, we're going to have you give your information here in a moment, but I guess, how will somebody, contact you? Website information, all that first, and then I have another question for you here in a moment.
Sure. Yeah, I guess the best way, and for 2013, the best way is to hit our .com. Since we do own the .com, that's why we picked our name. We're themefusion.com. And from there, you would get information to our, just to hit us on an email, to our telephone. We love to consult with people. Even if you don't turn into be a client or feel like you have a project that's large enough perhaps for a full-time professional group, just call us, ask us a question, and see if there's something that we can help you with. We are local, and we're very committed to helping local businesses. We also love large clients. We're not scared away by that. We're looking at clients that have aquariums and zoos and restaurants and full theme park environments, and that's exciting. But we are committed to doing what we can do for anybody, including the churches.
Okay, and that's part of what you answered. Part of my question was, how somebody gets in contact. What do they need to bring to you? Just their ideal. You start with the ideal, the concept, right?
Absolutely. And quite honestly, a lot of people try to make apologies for what they bring. They say, "I'm so sorry, I'm not an artist." We'll say, well, if you were, why would you need us?
Yeah.
So
right.
That's quite all right. And they also say, well, I can't draw a stick figure. At any level, at any point that communication is brought to us, it's quite all right. We'll start from there. And if a person says, I know exactly what I want, I have seen it in a vision, I know everything I need, that's great too. We're not intimidated by that. Whatever point a client feels like they have their part figured out, when they hand it over to us, we just simply enhance it. We add to it, and we constantly keep the client involved in the process. We don't grab what they have and go away and turn our back and then come back and say, well, take it or leave it. Here's what it is. We keep them in the process at every step. We make sure that they're happy with the progress. We make sure that we're on target with what we're suggesting, and we explain ourselves very well. If there's a feeling that we have that's very strong, We make sure they know this is our opinion as experts in the industry, but at the end of the day, they're in charge.
Right. I said they got to go to your website. I mean, we didn't get to see the full list of pictures that you brought, but your website has some more.
We have lots of portfolio image on the site, and we really would love for people to contact us and just take us up on this challenge. Spend 20, 30 minutes on the phone asking questions and see if we can add value to what you're doing.
And like you said, it's a lot of churches, a lot of kids-oriented type stuff, and that's, you got to wow the kids. I mean, there's so much out there TV-wise, and all these games and everything that you've got to wow them when they come to Sunday school, come to things like that. You've got to.
We are driven by experiences. Restaurants are driving experiences. You go to a theater, it's not enough just to pass through the lobby and head off to the theater. The theater has to be themed out. Mm-hmm. Everything, we just look for it. We drive ourselves to it. Some restaurants are also museums, like Hard Rock Cafe. It's not enough to go sit down and eat a burger.
Right.
It's eat a burger, but also have all this memorabilia around you.
Well, Cracker Barrel's another one.
Cracker Barrel's a restaurant.
I was thinking.
So it really is driven by the experiences. We just want more out of life, and experiences in everything that we do help us gain that.
I think churches are learning that now too.
Right.
Well, Joe, we do appreciate you being on here. I think we're coming down out of some time here. We need to take a break. But again, give your information one more time.
Themefusion.com. ThemeFusion.com. That's the best place to connect with us, and everything else that we have to reach us by phone, email is right there on our website.
Okay. Well, we appreciate Joe being here today, and like you said, go to his website. There's a lot of photos there of things they have done and worked on, and you'll be amazed. It's amazing. I mean, just the sets and pictures and things that you see, then you get immersed into that themed environment and everything. But folks, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with our next guest, so don't go away, and we'll see you in just a few moments.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now, Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back, folks, and it's great to have Chris Free with us today.
Well, thank you for having me on this morning. I appreciate that. And glad to be in a different role here on the show and be able to talk a little bit more. I give my mom a hard time about that, but
I
be
can
able
feel
to
you. I can feel
yeah,
you.
yeah, to get to talk a little bit more with
right.
y'all today. So that's great.
Well, the reason we have you on here is you're consulting. I mean, and I, we're going to go over that here in a minute. But like I mentioned earlier, we got to hear you last week actually at the incubator.
Yes.
You talked to our attendants, and we being one of the attendants, you explained what it is and about it. And I had to go out and snoop around and see what it was about too. And I wanted to have you on here because I think it's a great feature and what you're going to teach people and what you want to consult with. So explain a little bit about it.
Well, what I do, I'm in real estate, and being in a part of real estate is you're mobile. You have to be connected to people all the time. So one of the ways I do that is through social media. And I've been involved with technology just about, I was trying to think, I got my first computer when I was graduated high school quite a long time ago, and it was a little Tandy 1000.
That's what I had.
And, yeah, okay, so you can relate to two floppy, little floppy disk go there. So I've always been excited about technology and new technologies. And social media has kind of come in play with that. And so I have to use that a lot because I am out a lot, and it allows me to connect with people and to share my message or my story about real estate and other things with them. And it's great to do that and to help other businesses do that. I was doing some demographics, looking at demographics earlier today, and people don't realize that nowadays the largest growth population for Facebook itself is between 48 and 65 age group. And a lot of businesses and even at that, not just businesses, but individuals need to take a part of that and either market their products or their story out to people or to connect with other people their age, whether it be relatives or friends that they haven't seen in a while, that may be on Facebook, Twitter, and some of those other services out there. And even Twitter is one of the largest growth populations between 45 and 55. And so you've got those older segments in there. I say older, I'm in that. But that segment of people that are learning to use those technologies and to help businesses use those technologies efficiently and help them to use that, even not just for themselves, but for their clients, to interact with their clients on things and to help even with customer service, just all kinds of products. Any way you can imagine. Your last guest on here just talked about creativity. With that, I mean, the same way they give you these tools and you get to use them how creatively you want to use those tools to market and grow your business or to connect with people, friends or family.
Right, and I was thinking that, and businesses know that. I mean, your Facebooks, your Twitters, your LinkedIn, all those places, they know that we're using it that way because
yes.
I think it was Yahoo just purchased Tumblr. I think,
yes, they just
for
$1.1 billion,
and they only posted $100 million
revenue. Well, they just started
revenue,
doing advertisement on that. That's kind of been a controversy. I was reading an article on that of why they purchased that.
Yeah.
But the demographics of Tumblr are quite young, and they were wanting to hit some of that segment on there.
Want to be hip.
Yeah, I wanted to be hip, but that's when you've got 100 million unique visitors a month to a place. I mean, that's a lot
money.
of traffic coming through.
That's money right there.
Yes,
and that's what you're consulting with and teaching everything is important.
Yes, to be able to connect with those groups that are out there. And some people think, well, I don't have that many followers on Facebook or Twitter. And it's not really how many followers you have, it's how you interact with those followers that you do have and how that creates revenue for your business or creates connections or contacts for you personally or for your business. And it gives them a sense of, I follow someone on Twitter and I got to meet him in person the other day. Well, I already knew some background about him, so it gave me a connection to him already. That and LinkedIn is very good for that also, to get a little bit of a personal connection with those people before you go to talk to them and see them. And they get to know a little bit about you. And that's what's always good too. One thing I do consult on is proper Facebook and Twitter and social media etiquette. Right. Because a lot of people just start throwing stuff up there, and you shouldn't do that. Yeah. You shouldn't do that at all.
I mean, it's your personal page.
It's your personal page. Even at your personal page, you still need to be careful what you put out there because that's what people see. And I was speaking at a church a couple of years ago about social media with Facebook, especially with kids. And one of the gentlemen there for hiring and he for services, he said that's the first thing I do. I don't even look at a resume. I look at their Facebook and Twitter accounts and their social media accounts to see what they're doing and to see what they actually are, because you can type anything on a resume, but when they go to see that's there permanently on the web the majority of the time, that they can see what happens.
And I think a lot of businesses are doing that now.
Yes,
they're looking at, when they go to hire somebody now,
yes.
They're looking at their Facebook and their social life, I guess you would say.
Yeah, and that's where even educating the young population, kids that are just now, I mean, they're 12 and 13-year-old getting a Facebook or Twitter account. how to learn those properly, even to teach parents how to guide them on teaching those things, on how to use those things so responsibly and sociably acceptable. Because I mean, a lot of them, they'll just post anything on there.
I've got a sister like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to be careful with that, because
Right.
that stuff's out there and it can hurt someone else if you say something hurtful to somebody else, and you don't want to do that online because it's always there. And even though you take it down, somebody can still take. I know somebody
Google
had a
Cache,
question
and,
about, they can save that page, and so if you have to be careful what you do out there, and that helps out to be educated on that, and to do that with.
Now talk about the service that you're.
Now,
that
one
you're
of the services I use, I am a Hootsuite certified professional, and Hootsuite sounds like a funny name, but what it is a service or an app. It's web-based. There's no software to download, and it's on just about every platform from Mac, iOS, Android, anything you use, you can use this application on, and it helps to manage your social media networks. You can have multiples, even like Tumblr and all of those things. You can post directly from that software, and it allows you to manage those things efficiently. And it takes away a lot of the advertisements that's on the sides, and you don't get a lot of the distractions that you would normally get on Facebook or Twitter on some of those things, and helps to monitor those things. You have a separate area over here for just messages, and you can do searches. People don't realize how real-time searches affect Twitter, that you can do searches on and search information and keep up with in real time. As it happens, you get information from that. Especially keeping up with news, it's very, you'd be surprised how much news information comes through there. As spur of the moment, things happen before they're even announced on TV through those accounts, which are very nice. But it helps you to monitor those things and helps you not to get sidetracked from that, because a lot of times if you go to just Facebook and try to do posting on Facebook or do those things, there's so many distractions there that before you know it, you've wasted 30 minutes looking at other people's information, or you find yourself getting lost in some of the advertisements.
The recipes.
The recipes, yeah, the recipes, whatever. And so you find yourself getting involved in those things. And so this helps to limit those, and you can schedule out things to go out. Like if you have different products going out, that new product coming out or new service you're doing, something you're doing out in the public, you can set timers on when those are going to take place, and you can post up to months in advance. You can actually upload an entire month's worth of posts in just a few minutes to the site, and it manages those things for you on multiple sites. I mean, literally 20 of sites if you want them to be on there, and it'll manage all of those for you. And that's what I do with that. I train and teach on that product. And
now you do is it like an hour or two training, or is it like a day?
We can do day training. Usually an hour or two is really just to get you started. Yeah, just to get you set up. It takes a couple hours to get everything organized and set up in there and make sure you have everything okay on that, and that you're able to post properly out there and everything goes out the way you want it to go out. You can customize a little bit to do that with. So.
Now we talked to you, and the reason we had you at the incubator, because there's like 40 businesses in there, and we were looking at group training.
Yes,
and
yes. Offering group training, and I have gone to speak to churches before and to other individual clients, and but I do like the group training. It is nice. Everybody can ask questions, and usually I have it where if you can bring your laptop or something, we can work together while you're there as a group and get everybody on the same page and working down the same line to get their things, what they need to get done, and to work out a schedule where you have certain days of the week that you do your posts and you do that, so you can manage your time wisely on there. And that's one reason a lot of people don't work on these things, or they think it takes up too much time, so they don't implement it in their business properly, or they don't have a plan for it because they think it takes too much time, where you can actually, with this software and some of the other services that are out there, you can manage that and be able to bring all that together and work on that. Because sometimes you have your schedule post, but a lot of times some things are just happen out uniquely that you can take a picture of right there and send out. So that's the nice part about mobile technology also that's out there.
Right. Because I guess this is mainly for businesses. I mean, you're looking at somebody. I mean,
Yeah,
you're not looking to train somebody how they can post more, more on
Yeah,
Facebook.
and individuals can. I mean, most individuals. I mean, in social technology. I mean, like with the Google Plus that's out there now, which that's number 2. That's right under Facebook as far as the amount of people online. Has a service called Hangout, and Hangout is a great service, and it allows you to have up to 10 different people on the same conference call, basically, all on video. So, and you can have screen presentations or pictures. They can view your screen. So even if you have friends and family across the country or across the world, you can have them all in one place on a screen, all talking to each other in real time. and they're all on video. So you get to see them and you get to see their interactions. And that's not only good for business, but for personal use also. Especially like during the holidays or somebody has a birthday, they can't be there. You know, I've just set up a video and you're set to go. And like it even works with your phone or your tablet or anything. So anywhere you're at, you can be a part of those.
Okay.
And I was out yesterday, and we were out. Me and my wife were out. My kids were at home, and my daughter called me on FaceTime because my youngest was pitching a fit and had to talk to him. So you have that interaction, even for even residential or for commercial use. They can use that for personal use also.
And I guess you're also making the road safer. Because if somebody can schedule a time that they know they're going to be driving and post a few Facebook posts, you don't have to worry about you step behind somebody or watching somebody going down the road, driving with the in their
texting and things like that. But when you do that, I mean, it does free up a lot of your other time during the day. And usually your posts for the day, I mean, you can post them that evening before you leave work or by the time you finish things up. You can take 10, 15 minutes and have everything done for the next day of posts that relate to your business and actually not just about your business, but about the services that you offer, about you personally a little bit, so they get to see you. Because I know you do video production.
Right.
And video and YouTube is, I mean, they have 1 billion unique people come by YouTube every single month. And 6 billion hours of video built, or viewed each month, built on that platform. And it's actually bigger than cable TV now as far as video watched. So what a great audience to have that you can upload to free.
Right, and also being owned by Google, I mean, the search engines.
Oh, yeah, you're involved in their search engines.
I mean, you put stuff on YouTube, you're going to be pushed up.
Exactly. So that's really great.
Who's we tied into YouTube?
You can tie it into YouTube, that when posts are done on YouTube, that it goes out to your other accounts.
Okay.
And that's one of the nice parts. It monitors your others, so when something happens here, it can be relayed to your others automatically, so you don't have to go through and do a post for each different one.
So it changes the format, because I know like on Twitter you use the hash marks and stuff, but then like...
now it'll still show up hash marks on some things, and even Facebook, it'll show up the hash marks won't be taken out, but it'll still, like when it goes to Facebook will convert it out where the video's in the little caption there, so you have that on there. And and YouTube's a free service. I mean, why not?
Right now, anyway.
I think they are talking about paid service for some things. They're going to eventually have to. But I mean, for the most part, for small businesses and everything, it's a free service. And nothing better than having a video of your service or products that you've done, and even introduction to yourself. So they get to know you personally before you get to introduce them or talk to them. They get a little sense of who you are and to meet you face to face before you even get there.
That's why you got to go out there and find out all those videos and take them down.
Yes. And again, that's where
archive.org
that's
got them all there.
That's where it comes into having proper social media etiquette.
Well, it's not even bad videos. I mean, it's ones when I was in school.
Yeah.
And we had called Mag TV. It was Most Anything Goes, and it was our student-run production. And I cut up on there a few times. And they're out there.
Well, some of those are funny. And, but it does help. It was funny. One of the classes I taught, one of the parents asked, they said, now anything you put on Facebook shows up to everybody? And we said, yes. Anybody can pretty well see that. And somebody said, well, if you could lock them out, but there are. But that still does. It still can get pushed to other people.
It's been so hacked.
And she was quite embarrassed because she said, well, some of the things I've written about, and she was embarrassed about what she'd written about other people on there. So, and to teach that proper etiquette is really good, especially talk to groups and to young people about that on social media.
Right.
And because a lot of parents let kids, if they've got an iPhone or an Android, they're on social media, whether you like it or not. They can be there instantly without any parental consent. And if parents don't know what goes on, then kids
are way smarter than us.
Yes. So they have to keep up on what those things are to keep that, because you can get in trouble with that real easily.
Yeah. Well, I've seen different posts where the police show up at somebody's door because the kids posted something they shouldn't have.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I saw one where somebody had posted a picture of his son had a .22 rifle he got for Christmas, and the police showed up there. Child services.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
You got to be smart about it.
You got to be smart about what you post on there, and
that's what your training will teach, correct?
Yes, and I have different classes depending on what we're working with on that day. If it's for business, we're gonna focus on business, and we'll touch on etiquette a little bit. But now, if it's for like a church organization or something like that, or for kids and parents, then we're going to focus on that. I mean, that's on social responsibility for that. I mean, if you're not going to sit down at the dinner table out to eat somewhere and do that, don't do it on Facebook. I mean, really. I mean, that's pretty much what it boils down to, because it's that public arena, and people don't realize that.
Well, I had watched a show. They had a show. I can't remember which one it was on, but it was showing how they can track you down, your kids down to like your house nowadays.
Oh yeah,
By the map it and the pin it and different things, they can find out where a kid. And they were saying about these predators were stalking these kids.
Well, Foursquare and a lot of those things, they know when people check in places, and some of that you do have to be worried about, especially with young kids, that that they are posting where they're going to be, and if there is an issue with that could come up. And Foursquare is another great service, that's social media service for businesses, because they can use those. Also, and now like Google Now, which is kind of like Siri for the Android phones, and they do have it for the tablets and things for iOS. They actually know where you are at all times, and which is scary. I use Google Now on my phone. I have an Android phone, and like I go to Chattanooga quite often, and when I'm down there, I look down at my phone and it says you're 22 minutes away from home. And tells me how long, and I hit the button, and it would give me directions right there. It knows where I'm at, and like if I go down there, it'll tell me things that are in the area. If there's a sale going on somewhere, it tells me those things. It knows where I am, and location-based services are a really big thing right now. So, and I think Facebook just started. I think it was Facebook Home.
Yep.
And that was one of the issues on that, because it knows when you're at home, it knows when you're at work, it knows where you're at.
That's scary.
Yes, well, and it all boils down to marketing to you when you're at that point, where you are, and if you're at the office that day, it may send you something from Staples, if it knows you're there. If it knows you just got home, it may send you something about dinner out to eat that night.
I'm saying don't call me sick too.
Yeah,
The employer's going to say, well, I wonder what he's doing at Staples.
Yeah, and there are privacy concerns with that, but that's just really where technology is going, so it's something that everybody has to catch up with and be aware of.
I think the iPhones, they had something about that last year, that Apple had left something on by default, and it was actually tracking everybody.
Yes.
And they said, we're not doing anything with the information, but it was
But they still have that information, and Facebook wants the same thing, and the others, because that's what it all boils down to, is demographics on what people are doing, where they're shopping, what they're doing. If you leave a Facebook page open on your web browser and don't close out and log out, it tracks where you go online.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ads pop up, targeted ads.
Yeah, ads pop up where you have on those. So they know
don't we?
exactly. I forget, they said on average they have 152 bits of information on every person that's joined with Facebook. So they know what you buy, what you do, where you go. And that all boils down to when like with social media marketing, you can actually drill down to, I want married couples between the ages of 25 that live in this zip code and have a home of this price range, and you can drill down to that to market just to them. And being a real estate, I mean, that would be somebody I would market to. So it lets me drill down all the way down to that narrow of a segment of population to market to.
And that's what you're teaching, correct?
Yes, teach you how to do that also. Now, those are paid services. It's not just your social posts. It's actually buying the advertisements. And it varies on pricing and how much you want to spend, which is nice. You can actually budget out how much you want to spend on those things.
Okay.
And things. It's just a world of opportunity out there on those.
Yeah, because we was looking at those precision cooktops.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the site, did a Google, search on it, and did a search and everything. And so, like everywhere I went, the Weather Channel, the weather page, the Facebook, whatever, those little precision ads popped up.
Yeah, because it knew you went there, so it's going to continue to.
So I went and clean my cookies out.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, clean your cookies out if you don't know online. That kind of cleans out where you've been on the web and keeps that so they can't track you for that time frame.
But that tells you how how embedded media and social media and commercials and ads and everything are becoming.
Yes,
because it was 10 different sites I'll go to, and that same old ad would pop up.
Yes, they know where you've been and what you've looked at. And Amazon, I mean, people don't realize Amazon's like that, but they are. And that's why you always see Amazon ads.
eBay.
I
mean, every place is.
Yeah, and even though they talk about Google and Apple and some of these all conflict, they all buy ads from each other.
Yeah.
And Yahoo buys ads from Google, Google buys ads from Yahoo, and they all buy ads from each other because they're all trying to get the same business. So
yeah, and they say they don't trade any information, but except for bits and bytes and everything.
Yeah.
But once they give you that, I mean, they know who you are. They can build a profile and say exactly who you are from there.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's just a wealth of opportunity out there, and not just in social media, but in mobile technology also, which I use being a real estate agent. You have to be mobile like that, which it all kind of interacts. Some of the things kind of intertwine. So it makes it, sometimes I do help customers with mobile technologies on how to implement those into their business and how to use those and how to use that in workspaces that they can take with them. And you can take your whole computer with you on just a tablet or your phone with minimal cost to the company and actually free up a desk space. And they said the other day, I think they talked about most offices nowadays, not hard numbers, but I think it's 50% of the office space that's out there now is only occupied 50% of the time because so many workers are out on the road and they're outside of their workplace and they're working from home, they're working from Starbucks, they're working from their, you can work from Cook's Food Store here in town because they have a Wi-Fi connection, so you can go get your plate lunch and work from there if you want to. And work's not I heard a quote the other day, work's not where you go to anymore, it's just what you do.
Right.
And so your work has to be everywhere. And what you hate to say that, I mean, people say, well, I'm always connected, but you can turn it off when you want to and and get away from it if you want.
Now, the MAO, I mean, what did that name?
Okay, well, somebody said, why'd you name it that? And I just came up with this name real quick. I was needing to put this together. And that's my kid's first initial, Madeline, Alex, and Oliver. And I figured, you know what, that's why I do what I do is for them and to do things with them, or to do things for them. And so I just thought I'd use their initials for it. And doesn't mean anything, well, it means something special to me, but it's just what I use to name it. So
the future CEOs.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Maybe,
if they ever want to get into that, and by the time they get there, it's hard to tell what it'll be like. So
we've got
things have changed so fast. So
Right.
yes, exactly.
Yeah, by then that'll be considered old fogey stuff, you know.
Exactly. Why are you carrying this
Google
clunky thing
glasses
around?
now,
Yeah, they get the Google glasses, and that's a whole other security issue right there. I mean, I was reading the other day, if everybody you look at is on the internet, I mean, how does that happen? So
yeah, I mean, everything's going that way. I mean, they're releasing the
interface?
new Xbox, I guess the Xbox One, and it's always going to be connected. I mean, they're making everything always connected.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. You'll always be connected somewhere, and with all the new technologies coming out.
Well, Chris, we got a couple minutes left.
Okay.
If you want to go ahead and just tell everybody how they can reach you.
Okay. You can reach me, and my phone number again is 423-961-8095, and you can reach me on the web for this at chrisfree.us, and that's chrisfree.us, not .com, but US. And you can reach me there, or you can send me an email at chrisfree. I'm sorry, info@chrisfree.us.
Okay.
If you want information about that, it comes straight to me.
And then they want to set up classes, training, all that. They
Yeah,
just go through that.
anything they want, we'll set up some classes. I'm trying to get some time frames and some dates together right now.
And there's information on the website also.
I'm going to be posting some information up there. It's not there yet, but it'll be up there soon.
Okay.
And but if they sign up, if they want me to send them information, I will.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate you being here today, Chris. And
Thank
that's a
you.
lot of good information. I mean, I love social media.
Yeah, well, just
I've
technology
wasted
in
a lot of
general
hours
is
on
great.
that.
Yes.
What I loved was he was talking about the time you could save and
Oh,
still
yeah.
utilize all
Yes.
of those avenues.
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. Yes. It can really drain a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people do spend a lot of time.
I'll say you streamline it like that. I mean, employers are going to be able to get the employees to kind of streamline their time, save some money. I mean, there's some stuff there.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
Okay. Well, folks, we're out of time, but contact Chris and also contact Joe. But you need a theme fusion, but also Chris, if you want to streamline that social media and get that going, and there's some good stuff there. But we are out of time, and we're going to see you, I guess, next Friday. So see you next Friday.